tumultuous, chaotic, all the things. And we felt very connected on a soul level because he was a karmic partner. Did I just have a miscarriage? I started seeing all of these repeating numbers. The person that you knew was dead. I cannot believe that I am filming this video right now. Oh my gosh. Okay, you guys. My name is India. Welcome to my channel, girl. On this channel, we do a lot of things, but today we're doing my very first spiritual video. As you guys can tell by the title, I'm going to be telling you guys about my spiritual awakening. So it's gonna be kind of like a story time. So first of all, let me tell you guys, I have been on my spiritual journey for 2 years. If you woke up around the same time as me, we had a huge awakening in the population in 2020 and like 2021. So a lot of people were waking up around that time. And I just felt like I wanted to share this story, but I felt like I didn't really do a great job of telling the story. And I just feel like I've been feeling called to start sharing more things about my spirituality. So I am going to do it. I'm gonna listen to my spirit guides, okay? And I'm going to tell this story. So as with, I feel like many people, when you go through a spiritual awakening, you likely experience some type of traumatic something that happens that propels you on this journey. So it could be anything. I'm gonna tell you guys what it was for me, okay? So first of all, I will let you guys know that I am 30, okay? I woke up in 2021, so I was like 28 when it happened. So basically, I was in a relationship with this guy for about 4 years. Okay, we knew each other for 4 years. We were like intermingled for like three and a half years. So when I do this for relationship, it's because our relationship, we were only ever considered boyfriend, girlfriend. We tried to make it official twice during that like 4-year time span. And it only lasted maybe like a week or two. And then we didn't. We just kind of like removed the title or whatever. The person that I was with, he was not interested in having a traditional monogamous relationship. It was never his thing. He was never into it, okay? And you know, when you look at his astrology, it makes complete sense as to why he is the way that he is. But he is a very fundamental part of my journey and how I got to where I am today. So we were in this relationship for about 3 to 4 years. Now, a lot of things went on in this relationship. It was, oh my gosh, it was like traumatic, tumultuous, chaotic, all the things, but it was a huge like experience to be with this person. So I am someone who believes in monogamy. I believe in one-on-one relationships with a title for me. But I have, you know, there's nothing wrong with just being free and doing whatever you want, being polygamous, being whatever it is that you want to do, as long as the people that you're doing with are cool and they want the same thing. So that was the problem with us, is that he wanted that more free type of lifestyle, not even really polygamy, just more so free. Not because when you're polygamous, you're in a relationship just with more than one person, but you are in a relationship, versus what he wanted, which was basically just to like be free and just kind of like do whatever he wanted. And he didn't care if I did whatever I wanted to, but like I told y'all, my moon sign is Scorpio, so I'm not really into that. I'm not really into the whole being free, doing whatever type of thing. I won't say I'm possessive, but you know, that's my man and that's it. You know, you feel me? So yeah, girl. So we were in this relationship. So there were, like I said, he was really interested in being free. So there were a lot of other women around. I wasn't the only one. I don't want to say like, oh, I'm the main chick, but because I feel like I don't even like that terminology, or like what does that even mean, really, you know? But what I will say is his parents know who I am. You know, I've gone to his family's house. I've stayed in their home for like days at a time, and like nobody else has ever done that, right? So this is, I feel like, I don't even like to say that because I don't want it to sound like, oh, I think that that's like some kind of prize that I was able to stay with his parents for, we went on vacation and stayed at their house for, you know, days on end, and we're hanging out with them and doing activities and all that kind of stuff. Like, no, it really is not giving that, but you know what I mean? Like that was the experience, right? So anyway, like I said, there were a lot of other women around. We had a lot of fun times. I definitely would identify myself as bisexual, so I have done, you know, a lot of experiences with him and other women. We experimented with a polygamous relationship. Girl, we did a lot of shit, okay? We did a lot of things. And towards the end of being with him, so like I want to say that throughout all of this time, I always knew that it wouldn't be a forever thing. That at some point I would have to leave. I would have to move on. I knew that the life that he was going to be able to provide for me was not the life that I really wanted. And from a relationship standpoint, because I will say we're both Capricorns, so we're, you know, we could be like a power couple in the way when you think about like starting businesses or, you know, the money part, like that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, we can do that. We can go out together. We can have some good times. But as far as like having a real intimate relationship, real deep, you know, talking about real deep stuff. Now, we had some good conversations, don't get me wrong. Like, we felt very connected on a soul level, and we felt very connected on a soul level because he was a karmic partner. Okay, he was a karmic partner, or he was a twin flame. Girl, to be honest, I still haven't figured out which one it is, and I feel like those two can be very confusing to try to figure it out. I still don't know to this day. Like, it really could be either or. It could be both. Can it be both? I don't know. I never thought about that. Maybe it could be both. Karmic partner and twin flame. Girl, look. Anyways, so yeah, we're like having all of these like different types of experiences and all of this stuff. And I always knew, like I said, that I would have to go. And I would tell him this. I would be like, you know, I can't stay here forever. Like, I can't stay here forever. Like, at some point I'm gonna leave and you're never gonna see me again. Like, I would tell him these things, and he would just, you know, be like, okay, India, you know, whatever. And oh my gosh, what do I want to, okay, so towards the end of the so, okay, wait, let me back up a little bit, because pretty much every year since I had known him, at the end of every year, I will be like, I'm leaving you in 2018, or I'm leaving you in 2019, I'm leaving you in 2020. I'm like, literally, I would be like, I'm leaving you in this year. You know how at the end of the year, everybody's like, oh, I'm leaving such and such behind and I'm moving on. So I would do this. Like, every year I would do this. And then of course we would always end up back intertwined with each other. Like, we have gone, you know, like a few weeks or like a few months at a time not talking, not because of him, but because of me trying to like move on. And of course I kept falling back into the same pattern over and over and over again. And towards the end of the relationship, there were so many girls around that I was just like, I just had enough, bro. Like, I've had enough. Like, I'm done with the chaos. Like, you keep this life for yourself. Like, I don't want it. Thanks for the invite. Like, it was cool while it lasted, but I'm out. Like, I gotta go. So I actually ended up, so I woke up in like 2021, right? So in January of 2021, it was my birthday. So I'll turn 28, right? Because it's, or yeah, 28, because it's 2023. So we actually went to Houston for my birthday. And the trip was, I don't even know what to say about the trip. Like, it just, there was so much. We had two like incidences with girls like before this. And when I say incidences, it was like him, like, girl, I don't even know. The story of what happened is really not even important. I'm not even gonna get into all of that. But we decided that we were gonna go to Houston for my birthday. So the trip was like, he rented a car, like a really nice, like BMW i8, I think, like a real nice like sports car. And we drove to Houston in it, right? So it was cool. So we did that. Like, we had the nice car, you know, the hotel, all that kind of stuff. We had like our activities planned and all that was going on, like party type stuff. So we did that, and like the trip was okay, but I was just kind of like, you know, this isn't really giving. Like, it's not really, you know, what I want. It was just no, okay? That's what it was giving. And so later on, maybe like a month and a half, 2 months later, I'm feeling like, I won't say I'm feeling sick. I'll say I started bleeding like really badly, and it wasn't time for my period to come. So I'm thinking, I don't even know what I'm thinking at the time. I was really caught off guard, and like I scheduled a gynecologist appointment because I was just like, what is this? And so I was actually at his house when it happened. So I started bleeding really bad. I was just like, something is going on here. And so I was just like laying in bed, and I stayed there like the whole day. And then the next morning I was like, I'm gonna go home because I didn't know what exactly it was. So I came home and I sat on the toilet as I feel like many do. And I felt something like come out of me, right? And when I got up, I was like, did I just have a miscarriage? I was like, I was like so confused and like so in shock. And so this happened, and I called him, and I don't know if I explained what happened on the phone, but I ended up going back over there. So I went back over to his house, and I was just kind of like laying down, you know, or whatever. And I think that I did end up explaining to him like what went on, right? And so he ended up just kind of being like, I don't know exactly what he said, but his energy and like whatever he said was basically like, you're fucking up my vibe, you know? And I'm in my head like, are you kidding me right now? Like, this is your child, you know? Or this, you know, this could have been like what I'm dealing with and what I'm experiencing right now is because of you. It's because of you. And so I ended up going home, and then we talked about it like the next day or so. Ended up like we talked about it, but like it wasn't like a super in-depth, like real deep heart-to-heart conversation like it should have been. We talked about it and then kind of like moved on. So we have like tumultuous experience number one is just, you know, all of the things that I've experienced while being in this 3-4 year long relationship with this man. The next thing is suffering from a miscarriage, chemical pregnancy, whatever we want to call it. I did end up going to the gynecologist, but she had a guest that day. So, you know, sometimes when you go to the doctor, they'll have like a student with them who's, you know, learning and doing whatever. And so it was this white guy, and I just felt like really weird. And so of course they like ask you like, oh, do you mind if they come in? And I'm like, oh, you know, no, it's fine or whatever. But then I didn't actually end up asking her specifically about the miscarriage, chemical pregnancy that I experienced. But I do have a doctorate of pharmacy, so I know what I'm looking at. I know what I saw. I know the symptoms. I know what I felt. I know when I look at the timeline, I know I was messing up my birth control. And I was on a progesterone only birth control pill because of migraines, and it's not as effective as the combo pill. So there is a greater chance for slip-ups like this to happen. So, you know, when I look at all of that, it makes complete sense. Like I said, I know. So that was that, right? So now we're moving forward, and I'm just like, I gotta get out of this. Like, I started feeling like this is not okay. You know, I can't be here anymore. Something is going on with me right now, right? And so I started seeing all of these repeating numbers, right? So I would see, I have a repeating number on my neck. My necklace says 555. It's my favorite angel number. But I was starting to see like 555s, 333s, 111, 999, you know, like I was starting to see these repeating numbers, and I was like, what? At first, you know, like you don't really notice it. Like you see them, but like you don't really see them, right? And then I started to be like, didn't I see this same number yesterday? Or like, didn't I see this earlier today? Like, what is going on? And so we had actually gone out to dinner. We went to dinner, and we went to the casino after. I'm talking me and this guy, right? And so I asked him, we were at the casino, I was like, do you see like synchronicities? Like, do you see repeating numbers like 333s, 111s? He was like, oh yeah, you know, like I see them too. And I'm just like, really? You know, like that's really interesting. So girl, after that, I started researching, right? I just started looking things up, and I'm trying to remember if I started to research things. I'm pretty sure it was before, and then I ended things with him officially after. So I'm pretty sure after this, he confirmed and he said yes, somewhere between that time. So that I asked him about that in like March, and I ended things with him in May. So during that time, I was heavily researching, going down rabbit hole after rabbit hole after rabbit hole, trying to figure out what exactly is going on right now. And so, you know, people would say, like, when you start to see synchronicities, you're waking up. Like, you're waking up to a higher timeline. You are, girl, you're getting out of the matrix. You now have the chance to get out of the matrix because you're now aware of what the matrix is. That is what was happening to me. So I was just watching tons of YouTube videos, all kind of stuff. Girl, I looked up, oh, you know, I know that I did it, but I did this before I ended things with him, because this is how I found out his big three for astrology. That's how I found out, because I had done my own birth chart before I had asked him about it. So yeah, so I did my own birth chart, and you know, I figured out what my big three were, all of my planets, my houses, all that kind of stuff. Now, obviously, when I was first doing it, I didn't have nearly the knowledge about it that I have now, but I know how to read. So I was reading through, you know, my basic, you know, my booklet of my astrology, and, you know, trying to understand, you know, about myself. I was looking up numerology, all of it, okay? And so I was talking to him about it, not in detail, but I like talked to him a little bit about the astrology. Now, I've always been interested in astrology since I was a kid. I found astrology interesting. I used to always want to like read my horoscope, and I was always super into dreams. I always had really vivid dreams, and I bought a dream book when I was a kid. And like when I would have a dream out the next morning, I would like go in the dream book and read about what it meant and all that kind of stuff. So I always had an interest in it, and I asked him about it. I think I asked him something about it. I think he did have his birth time, and that's how we found out his big three. So he is a Capricorn, but his sun and his rising and his moon are air signs. So it makes complete sense as to why he wants to be this free, you know, kind of person. And mine makes complete sense as to why I wouldn't, you know, why it would be the exact opposite, right? So all of these things have gone on. So all of this is now leading up to me being like, okay, I'm gonna say what I mean, right? I'm gonna say what I mean, but I'm gonna do it too, right? Like, I'm really gonna be done for real. Like, when I end this, it's going to be the end. Like, I'm not coming back. Okay, not coming back. You're not gonna see me again. It's gonna be over, and we're gonna be done, and I'm gonna end this cycle. So in May, we were at his house one night, and I just kind of told him like, oh, you know, we kind of need to like just cut back, you know, on this stuff. And he's, you know, like, okay, like, I mean, I guess. And he's of course still wanting to like be friends, right? But like I said, he doesn't believe in like actual like monogamous relationships. So all the girls are friends, you know, but he's all of them too. So there's that as well, right? So it's like, no, like, we can't be friends. We can't be anything. Like, we can't be anything at all. It's nothing. I'm gone. Like, it's over. And so, you know, I told him that, and I think maybe like a few days later or like a week later, I was at this wing place. Like, I had went there for lunch to like get some food, and I was sitting down, I was like eating or whatever, and he was in the process of looking for a new car. So he was like, I just picked up my new car, like, I want to come show you, whatever. I'm like, you know, okay. So he comes to the wing place, I'm done eating, so I go outside, we're sitting in his car, and you know, he's showing me the car, whatever, and I'm like, you know, this is the last time you're gonna see me. And I was like, this is the end. Like, real dramatic, like, this is the end, like, this is, you know, it's been fun or whatever, but I have to go. And you know, I got out of the car, like, we kind of had that conversation, and got out of the car, and he gave me a hug, and I got in my car and I drove away, and he got in his car and he drove away, and we didn't see each other or like have any communication for a year. It's been 2 years since this May will be 2 years since we've like had any type of connection to each other or anything like that. And I've only seen him one time, and I saw him at a party. So I was hanging out with this girl, and we went to this club and he happened to be there at the club. And so I wasn't supposed to be at the club anyway. And it's like, if I'm not supposed to, look, I wasn't supposed to be there. That's all I'm gonna say. And if I had followed my, follow my intuition, right, and had stayed at my house, I would not have seen him. It's cool though. Like I saw him before he saw me, but I let him believe that he saw me first. So I saw him from across the room. I saw him, and before he could like turn around and see me, I put my head down because I was like, oh, maybe he won't notice me. So I was like fidgeting on my phone. I was like, maybe he won't see me or whatever. And so of course he does see me. So I'm down looking at my phone and I walk over and I see shoes like right here. And he was like, India? And I looked up and like I was like being super dramatic, like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. Just stupid. Like, and so it was good though. Like we had a small little like catch up conversation, and it was cool. And like he's tried to contact, we've talked on the phone I think like once or like twice since then, but that was it. Like he's trying to see if he can like get back in, but like you'll never be able to get back in because the person that you knew is dead. I don't know her anymore. I don't know her, so you could never get back in because this is a new space. And he's stopped trying at this point, I mean, I would think, and it's dead. So I told you guys this whole story time to say that a lot of times when you're going through a spiritual awakening, you have someone who's gonna push you into it, right? There are a lot of people right now who, they're seeing all these videos on TikTok, on Instagram, or they're hearing people talk about it, and they wanna like dive into spirituality and like try it out like it's a religion. It's not a religion. You don't just decide to be spiritual. Like it's not a religion. Like I don't know of another way to say it. So if you are seeing these synchronicities, if you are feeling called, like this is something for you to try to figure out what is going on, then, hopefully this video helped you realize who or what could be pushing you into this journey. Since I've been on my journey, have kind of realized or have come to the conclusion that this man, I think that this is his contract. I think this is his soul contract to actually kind of have a lot of different women experience the lifestyle that he is providing, and to kind of wake up and realize you're worth more than that, and kind of push the woman into a self-love journey and realizing their true potential, their true goddess energy, and starting them on this self-love journey. And I feel like that's what it was, that for me, that was the experience that I had. That's what he pushed me into. And, it was a really interesting experience. Those 3 to 4 years, of my life, like it was different. Like we did a lot of shit. Like I had a lot of different experiences, and, it was cool. Like it was cool. Like interesting vibes. Like a lot of it was very fun. Like I said, it was very chaotic. There were a lot of emotions involved for me, just as in a not feeling worthy kind of part. But then here we are, 2 years later, and we see why, everything has come full circle, and we see why I had to go through that experience and where it has gotten me today. So period. Yeah, that was really just the story time. And this video is for all of my star seeds, for all my earth angels, for all of, the other spiritual beings who are here to wake up and lift up consciousness. Girl, this is for all of my girlies, moving from 3D to 4D and 4D to 5D. Okay. So yeah, I don't even know like what else to say, but just know that everything that you are experiencing, have experienced, is a lesson to get you to where you are supposed to be today. Everything is happening for you, not to you. okay? So yeah, I think I want to do another video and kind of talk about what I did on my spiritual journey, like so far, like the things that I've learned, things that I've done, things that I've researched or something. Not to say how you should do it, but just to let y'all know what I have done if you're, you know, interested in that kind of thing. So yeah, this was like, yeah, I mean, that was, I feel like I was about to say this is kind of like a story time about my ex, but it's really not. It's really, that is my spiritual awakening. He was, you know, a huge part of it. He was a huge part of it. Without him, I would not have been catapulted into this self-love journey that, you know, I am on, of self-discovery and all of these things and getting to know myself. And you know, it just wouldn't have been that. So that was the story, okay? And you know, I think I did pretty good for having a blocked throat chakra, y'all. My most effed up chakra is my throat, which is why I am wearing, I mean, I have on my evil eye bracelet, but I also have on a soda light as well. That's the other blue one here, to help with my throat and to help me to speak. So I'm proud of myself for making this video and sharing this with you guys. I'm gonna film another one right after this, like I said, about things that I did on my journey. And then I kind of want to start a spiritual series on my channel. So if you guys have questions about anything at all, it can be anything. It can be something actual about spirituality. It can be, you can ask me something about my own journey if you're looking for advice about something, whatever. And I think I'm gonna try to start like a little series on this so we can get some spiritual content going over here, because that's what I love to talk about. Like, okay, I love everything else. I'm very much into hair, very much into fashion, love to vlog. Y'all definitely go watch some of my vlogs and subscribe to my channel and all that kind of stuff. But this right here, this is what I really love. Remember, Scorpio moon, so we real deep over here, okay? But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, girl. Comment down below. Let me know if you experienced anything like this. Let me know if anybody catapulted you on your spiritual journey. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe on your way out. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!